Good morning, gang. Happy Halloween. We're at the end of October already. Can you believe this? It's like Christmas is 7 weeks away. We'll see how that goes. So, you know, I don't have to tell anybody that the war in Ukraine is an absolute fustercluck. Okay. You've got Zelensky demanding money, weapons, whatever. What was it last week? He came out and said, well, the way he figures it, Germany needs to give 500 million a month, and the United States needs to give 1.2 billion a month. I'm like, who the hell are you? You know, to tell anybody how much money we have to give you. We don't have to do squat, okay? And hopefully this comes to an end real quick. Because now you've got countries in Europe where the people have absolutely had it. I mean, the Czech Republic, Germany, France, Hungary, the people are now clamoring, telling their politicians, we need to get out of NATO because this is just ridiculous as to how we're suffering to support the most corrupt country in Europe. To give you an idea how bad that corruption is, all right, there was a report that came out from CBS. 30% of the weapons that are being sent to Ukraine actually wind up going to the front. 70% of them wind up being sold on the black market. That's where our tax dollars are going. The Finnish NBI, okay, the National Bureau of Investigation, same as our FBI, okay, has warned that the gangs in Finland are now armed at the same extent as the military is. Now you think about this, at least here in the States. I mean, some of you other guys are completely screwed because of you voted to get rid of weapons. Idiots. The politicians, not the people. But you think about this. We are going to be in a situation sooner rather than later, certainly, where all bets are off, that we are in a without rule of law scenario because the governments of the countries are losing control very quickly, and the law enforcement is falling by the wayside, I guess, to put it that way, because defund the police. There aren't any cops. Nobody, I mean, every police department in the country is saying that they're losing police officers. When there's nobody to enforce the law, there is no law. Welcome to the Wild West, okay? Now, the problem that you get when we go into the Wild West, and after all this stupidity that's going on with writing blank checks to Ukraine, which in other words means writing blank checks to MS-13 or Hell's Angels or, any of the motorcycle gangs, the outlaws or whatever it would be. They're getting this weaponry. And stop to think about what this is. This is fully automatic weapons. This is grenades. This is rocket launchers. This is anti-missile systems. Let's give Al-Qaeda or ISIS or pick one, Hezbollah or whatever it is, let's give them easy access to shoulder-fired missiles. Ooh, there's a good idea. Let's give that to MS-13. Oh, let's give this to the drug cartels. All right, this is what's coming, guys. And as much as we are all armed, okay, we're way outgunned, period, okay? Your AR-15, your AK-47, whatever you have, is no match for an M60 or, an an M16 for that matter, or an M4 or anything. We're outmatched. So what this winds up with is a complete without rule of law scenario, or the law is going to be determined and enforced by the criminal entity. All right. Now you start thinking about what else is going on. I mean, for those of you that live in the city, I fear for your lives real fast. Those of us in the country, 2 weeks later. But so then what you're going to wind up happening is the alternate economy. Okay. And where I say this is theft is going to become the norm. All right. The gangs are going to run the show. Drugs will be the currency. Okay. If you don't want to participate, i.e. most of us, okay, you're going to try to do something else. But start thinking about what this is going to bring. Shootouts at high noon in the street. You're going to have drive-by shootings all the time. Okay. You may be sitting in your house. I mean, think about some of the worst cities where you hear stories, little Joey was coloring in his coloring book and all of a sudden a hail of gunfire came through the front window and Joey's now dead. Okay. That's what is coming because, alcohol, drugs, prostitution, you name it, is going to be the mainstream everywhere. And, you know how gangs get. It's like either you join us or you're dead. That's what we're up against, guys. That's how far this Ukraine stupidity is going. And the people are realizing this. And when the Finnish government comes out and says that the gangs are as well armed as the military, that should wake a few people up. Okay. Will it? Probably not. Hey, we've got to keep pumping money into Ukraine because, last week, hey, Zelensky bought a $34 million piece of property in Miami. Really? He was never that good of an actor. He's certainly not Tom Cruise. Not using that as an example. Don't get on me about Tom Cruise. How much does the presidency of Ukraine pay, where Zelensky has $34 million to drop on a piece of property in Miami? Okay. Don't forget he's got a villa in Italy that he's renting out to the Russians. Okay. Just saying, corruption. This, all your tax dollars and stuff is going into corrupt people's pockets, the criminal element. And when it comes time that all of a sudden our crime rate goes up even further than it already is, our government's going to go, oh, we don't know what happened. You're funding your own execution. That's what this government's doing. Happy Halloween. Pinball out.